Soul Simmers, and welcome to class number 5 of the Builders Bootcamp. Today we're gonna talk about wallpapers and flooring. And you might think, but Rosanna, wallpapers and flooring is not that difficult. We just have to know where to find it and then we can use it. Actually, there are some nice hidden tips and tricks about wallpaper and flooring in The Sims 4 that I would like to show you guys today, so you can get very creative with how your rooms look. So first off, we're going to start with wallpaper. Wallpaper can also be found in the build menu on this little icon called wall patterns. As soon as you click here, you get a variety of options that you can place on your walls. If you look here on the side, you can either go for paint, wallpaper, tile, paneling, masonry, I do not know how to say that word correctly, rock and stone, siding, miscellaneous, and everything all together. And then up top here you see by room. To be honest, I've quite literally never used this because as soon as you click this and you select a color, it immediately paints the entire room. But I've never actually wanted to do that, and when I want to do it, I use a keyboard shortcut that I will show you guys in a hot second. So I always just go for this one by wall and then either select wallpaper or paint, whatever I want in that case. As soon as you hover over a certain wallpaper, you can actually, like everything in The Sims, select the swatches by clicking on the colors on the left-hand side. As you can see, this wallpaper has quite a lot of colors, so let's go for the vibrant blues. As soon as you grab this, your wallpaper will only dye by tile. So you can click and then you have dyed 1, you can click again, then you have dyed 2, and this way you can actually make quite fun custom wallpapers if you want. I can imagine though, if you built quite a large house, it's kind of annoying to constantly click for all of the walls. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. What I would recommend is actually grabbing the color, going over to the wall that you want to paint, and then holding Alt. If you hold Alt on your keyboard, you will paint one singular wall in the room. Like I said, there is also a handy dandy keyboard shortcut for actually painting the entire room. If you hold Shift on your keyboard, it will automatically paint the entire room. Keep in mind, as soon as you let go of Shift and you haven't clicked yet, it will actually not have painted anything. So you will have to hold Shift and then click. And as soon as I let go now you can see that the entire room is painted. This is actually quite a nice tactic as well if you want to see if a color looks good in the room. So let's say we have decorated this room and we want to see if it would suit with yellow wallpaper. We can quickly hold Shift without clicking anything, seeing, would this be the right shade of yellow? And then we decide, nah, not really. Let's go for pink instead. Then we click on the pink and there we go. So this is a very nice and easy way to get creative on how you decorate your rooms without actually having to click a million times, finding out that the color doesn't really work and going back. Another very important thing to know about wallpaper in The Sims 4 is that as soon as you placed it, you can go back with undo, but you cannot actually delete the wallpaper. So as soon as I select the sledgehammer and I click, I actually delete the entire wall. As soon as you place it, there's no deleting it, but not to worry, you can actually just paint over it with a different color. If that different color is either more expensive than the one you have on the wall, you have to pay. And if it's less expensive than the one that you have on the wall, you actually get your money back. So with replacing it, you actually delete the previous one that you put on there. So don't try to delete your wallpaper. You can actually undo it if you make a singular mistake, but know that replacing it will actually give your money back, so you don't have to worry about that. Now we're moving on to flooring, and flooring can be found right next to the wallpapers. So you have the wallpapers here. If you move down a little bit, you get floor patterns. Again, floor patterns is set up the same way, so you can either do it by tile or do it for the entire room. This way, however, you can just select one and it will automatically fill up the entire room. Again, this is where the concept of rooms in The Sims 4 gets very, very important. Because if for some reason your build is divided in a lot of different rooms that don't actually have walls, but the game still considers them to be rooms, then your flooring will get all messed up this way. Yet again, I'm stressing, like I did in the rooms, like the walls and flooring episode, rooms is the way that The Sims 4 is built up. So if your flooring is in any way messed up, it's highly likely that that is because the game is considering things to be different rooms. Moving on to the flooring per tile. You can actually, if I show you this, I can grab one and it will actually do it per tile. Again, this way you can get quite creative and make a lot of fun patterns. I often do this in kitchens where I shuffle the black and white tiles. It just looks fun, I like it, and this is a very, very easy way to make custom floorings in The Sims. However, I can imagine that in some cases you're like, yes, this is the correct shade, I want to do the entire room. Just as with wallpaper, if you hold shift, it will automatically make the entire room the same flooring. If you are not actually in the room menu, but you still want to do an entire room, like with the wallpaper, it is possible by just holding shift. If you have a flooring, you can actually rotate it by using the bracket keys on your keyboard. As you can see, I now rotated the flooring so I can actually make a vertical one in a horizontal floor. This way, again, you can get quite creative and create your own custom wood patterns. Then there's just one last trick that I want to show you guys for flooring, and that is how to use half tiles. This even unlocks more creativity on making custom floors, and you can do this by pressing Ctrl F on your keyboard. As you can see, you actually don't even get half tiles, you get quarter tiles. By doing twice, you get actually a half tile, but this way you can actually rotate it in between and, create a little corner piece. This is very convenient, for instance, if you want to do a wraparound porch and you want to have the flooring go one way on one side of the porch and the other way on the other side of the porch, and then right at the corner where they meet, you can actually use these quarter tiles to create a nice looking corner on your porch. The same goes for floor tiles. When you want to delete them, you can actually not do that using the sledgehammer. So if I were to try to delete one, it would actually delete the entire floor. Don't worry if this happens, you can either go back, but sometimes you accidentally do this, continue building, and then notice it only like 15 minutes later, and you think, I cannot go back anymore because then I will lose a lot of things that I build. Don't worry, just click on the room, hover over the yellow part at the bottom and say build floor. This way you will just get your floor back, and actually even with the flooring that you put in. If you want to replace the floor, just as with the wallpaper, you can just grab a different one, put it over it, and that way it replaces it. And if it's more expensive, you will have to pay, and if it's less expensive, you actually get your money back. So that is the way that you will have to delete the floor that you selected for The Sims. Thank you so much again for attending this class. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell so you never miss an episode of your Builders Bootcamp. If you have any suggestions, tips, or comments, please let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye!